Choo 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 choo. Woo. Do you ever feel like you're just facing down a train and everything is just going right, coming right straight at you, and you don't know how to get out of the way, and the tunnel seems to be narrowing, but the train is just barreling heading right straight for you? Well, I get it. I get it. I really do. Oh my gosh. It is crazy, right? So let me go back over here and put this up. And where it is, I got it over here somewhere. I'm trying to get it to go over on my other accounts. Why is it not there? Okay, let's go on down to see where it is. That was the 14th. Flicker of hope. Nope. Okay, we're still looking at trying to figure out where it's at. It's supposed to be over there. It says live, but where? Oh, there it is. Gotcha. Started a minute ago. Okay, so let's see if we can do some little now editing. I want to put a comment in there. Chat. Okay. Hi everyone. Chat. Where's my chat notes? Okay. I'm actually starting this on. I was trying to figure out how to see it over on X. You should be hearing me as well. But let me see if I can put a comment that shows up on X. One view somewhere. I don't know who you are, where you are, but anyway. Hi everyone. Welcome to the Midday Show with Cassandra. So come on in, say something, say hi, bye, whatever you want to say. Come on over. Let's see what happens if I show it up over here. I'm going to put the chat up and overlay it. And I think maybe that'll work for me. Yeah. Give me a chance. I'm kind of playing with this right now, kind of seeing what's going on. But anyway, no, it's been a busy morning today here in Eastern Kentucky, you know, and actually been fun, really. So am I getting it to go to all of the different shows? That's the thing that I wanted to do. Okay, so it did come in from Restream at least. All right, so phew. So I got up this morning and made sure mom and my brother and sister were good, made sure they had something to eat and got all their medicine, and they're doing all right, relatively speaking. Comparatively, I guess, is more appropriate. But they're doing all right. This morning, let me see, my sister, she said that she wanted a ham sandwich. So which is good. It's easy to do. She likes them fried, a fried ham sandwich, and that's what I try to fix for her, what she likes, if I can. And I can really. And then mom, she really didn't want a whole heck of a lot, but I struggled to get her to wake up. She'd been sleeping in the recliner all night, apparently, and so yeah. But her blood sugar was her normal, roughly her normal for every day is like 109, and that should be between 80 and 100. But at 86, you know, she has kind of an average in there somewhere that's pretty consistent around that, just about every morning now. And then her evening blood sugar is around 140, 150, which is higher than it should be, but that's still in that normal range for her. When I first got here in December of 2023, blood sugar was going all over the place. It would go high. The thing wouldn't even read it. It was so high. And it took a while for me to get that all regulated back down and create a stability there that was for her, because that's the thing that needed to take place, was that we had, I had to regulate the food. And I had to learn a lot, basically. And my brother taught me a lot about all that too. And my sister, who actually has dealt with this all of one of her adult sons' lives, had childhood onset diabetes. And so, yeah, that's what we had to deal with. But today though, after I got up and got everybody something to eat, mom, she just took a chocolate nutritional drink. It's an Ensure drink or Boost. I don't know which one it is. It might be Ensure. But that's what I get her because, if she doesn't really eat much more than that, then I made sure she had a piece of cinnamon toast or cinnamon bread, swirl. And she likes that. She likes it. And that kind of keeps her sugar from bottoming out because at 102 or 109, what it was this morning, when I give her a shot, that part I don't change much. I just adjust the food around it to make sure that it is working correctly. So I have to make sure that she doesn't drop too far down below 100 after that shot. So that's what I do is make sure you have sustaining kind of food. It's kind of a challenge sometimes. And, that's good. I've got it in a stable place now, and it's been there for about a year, I guess. Finally, kind of stabilized quite a bit. So I'm very happy about that. She was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney failure, but she's had that diagnosis, at least those conditions that identify it as that, for almost 4 years. And it's been pretty steady. The filtration rate has been pretty steady for her over that period of time. So the doctor wasn't really wanting to do too much more with that, just do periodic checks and make sure everything's all right for her. And that's where we are. That's where we are. So I went out this morning, though, after I got everyone taken care of. I went out and I go do sparking. And I call it sparking. That's what Spark is, the delivery service for Walmart. So I do that around here, and if somebody is actually needing some money or actually extra cash or whatever, and if you're retired and you've got a decent running car that doesn't use a lot of gas and you're looking just to make a little bit extra to get you out of the house maybe or something like that, or maybe you're a young person and you need something to fill in gaps and you just want to make extra money, well then you ought to be looking into things like DoorDash and whatever it is out there, the food delivery services, and Spark with Walmart. You ought to check them out. I do have income coming in from my retirement and stuff, so I'm good there. It's just good to have a little extra. And so I'd say on a weekly basis, just with Spark, and I do it like a couple of times a day, maybe if that. And I don't do it for several days in a row, and I still might bring in like 200, 230, somewhere around there every week, and which is it's money I didn't have before, right? So if you're looking for a little extra, then you need to be considering these things. Go out there, they'll run the background check kind of stuff. That's no big deal. So go out there and do all of that. Get signed up. If you're looking for ways to actually make it through all of this stuff to earn a little extra, you need to do that. Go to DoorDash, go to Spark, whatever. Sign up. Don't sit at home and just wallow in grief and misery. There's too much that you need to be doing here where you are. And if you're a trans person like me or a trans veteran like me, and you're actually looking for a little thing to get you out of the house, well, that's one way to do it. Go out and do something like that. So today's trips, I had, 4 trips this morning. 4 deliveries this morning for Walmart. And I don't know, what did I make today? Probably $50, $60 just doing that, a couple hours. So, it's not bad. And here's the thing, you get tips. And here's the other thing. If you're making tips now, guess what? You don't get taxed on your tips. I'm happy about that. So, yeah. It works out pretty good. So I went to different places. Let me see. I grew up in Forest Hills, Kentucky, in Pike County, which is right near here in Belfry area. And so my first delivery was at Forest Hills, and my second delivery was down East End in Williamson. Yeah, I think it's East End. I don't know. I get them mixed up, east or west. But anyway, so I was down on that Cemetery Hill down there. That's over top of where the pool's at, new school, elementary school, and all that. But anyway, so that was my second one. But the next one took me 12 miles down the road to lovely Kentucky. There's absolutely zero signal down in there, and you just do the best you can with it. Go out and, knock on doors, say hi, help people out, talk with people. And then after that one was done, I get back up. Then there was an order to go to a place called Edgerton, West Virginia. It's over in Mingo County. It was 17 miles away. And like I said, you do need a car that actually gets you gets good gas mileage. And around here, you're going up and down hills and around curves all over the place. And Edgerton, West Virginia is up the Tug River from Matewan, West Virginia. Yeah, good 7, 8, maybe 9 miles up through there. Went up into, I had an address. It was like this Reds Road on Thacker Hall and Edgerton. Guess what? Reds Road's not on any of the maps, Apple or Google or anything. So all you can do is you go to the holler and you go looking around and go knocking on doors. So I go knock on the door and I say, do you know anybody such and such up in this holler and at this address? And they go, there's a bunch of those people all the way at the very end, but my map put me at the beginning. All the way at the very end, maybe you go all the way up there, but we don't know about that Reds Road. So I go up through there and meet another person who says, no, I don't know about Reds Road. Never heard of that one, but there are those people with that last name up in here. So I go on up, way up towards the end of Thacker Hollow up in Edgerton, and I'm telling you, there it was on the side of the road. It said, a little sign, Reds Road. And it was not where the pin on the map took me to. The pin on the map was a good 2 miles down the road from there. But anyway, so then I get to talk to these people, and help them carry the stuff in. I carry stuff in for them. They help me get it in there. They give you a tip or whatever. And get to talking with people. And this person had like 5 grandkids and family in from Wisconsin. And I mean, it was just a conversation with somebody who has probably never, ever had an opportunity to talk to someone like me, which they'll go and talk about it for the next week. It just will. That's just the way this stuff works. But that's how you change things, folks. That's how you change the world, is one person at a time. You go through and talk to people, get engaged where you are, do things, be out, be seen. Don't do crazy stuff. Oh my God, don't do that. Don't do things that are absolutely, will draw an unwarranted or unwanted attention to you in a way that you don't want, that the rest of us don't want either. So you have to be really cautious, but at the same time, be confident. You got to be confident. You got to be proud of who you are and not ashamed of it at all, because, why on earth? People say, are you going to, I've heard this from other people. They don't ask me that directly, but other people have told me they've been asked if they're going to if they're still transitioning, and they'll go, no, I'm not transitioning. I'm where I want to be. I'm not going through all of that again. No. This is where I want to be, and I'm fine with it right here. Nothing more. Nope. I had a friend out in Missouri one time ask me. She said was an Army lieutenant. And she asked me. She said, why would you want to give up all that male privilege? And for those of you who don't think you have male privilege, or you don't know what male privilege is, it is there. It's real. You know it. I mean, you're not blind. I know you can see that and around it. You can be braver than I. Wouldn't catch me dead in Hickstown. You look like someone's grandma. Very pretty. Well, thanks, King Ray. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you. Hope everything's going well for you. I really do. And I miss talking with you too. But I just want to say that King Ray, right there, King Ray has been a steady friend for a long time. And I'm so glad to call him a friend, someone who can offer guidance or whatever. Just fun to talk to. Yep, I know male privilege is definitely a thing. My friend out in Missouri, she said, why would you want to give up that male privilege? And I said, look, one thing, I didn't know it existed. I didn't know it existed until I became fully me. And then I realized, oh, they'd like to mansplain to me. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. And being a male with a degree and being all this kind of stuff and a military officer and all this kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. There is definitely privilege there. And that woman was like, why would you give? I said, because I don't want it. I don't want that. I've never wanted it. But here's the thing. I acknowledge that the fact of who I am, I come from my genes, my genetics are male. I spent bulk of my life in the male world. Yes. No problem admitting or saying anything like that. That's the truth, right? And I was privy to a lot of privilege as a result of those things that I didn't even know existed until later, whenever I wanted to get rid of it. But it's still there. It's still there. And it's a hard thing for a lot of trans women to do, is to not be overbearing. We're trying to run things all the time, and we do. And it's a failing. It is a failing. But we also spent a lot of time in those roles in our lives over time. And so there's not much I can do about it. Yeah, yeah. It's showing up. Hey, Ray, King Ray, yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I mean, I'll give you any extras I've got. I think I can lather it on somewhere. Let me see. Well, I know where you are, but it's too much of a drive to come down and just show you. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah. So as you can tell, I'm not spending a lot of time on a lot of other crap today, because it does get overwhelming. All this stuff that's going on around here, it gets overwhelming. You get run down by it, and you do feel like this is what you're dealing with. You feel like that there's just this train headed right straight at you, and all you can do is try to duck. And you look at it, you go, what happened? But there is hope. I want everybody to know that. Anyone watching, wherever you're watching from, if you're a drive-by watcher too, so a lot of people are watching and they don't click on it so that they don't get their numbers counted. They're drive-by watchers. But so it does feel like that sometimes, particularly right now. And what's going on is this is what I'm calling a conservative reset. It is that happens periodically in the country. It's just something normal that happens here. It is not abnormal at all. The thing that we think that with this rapid haste and destruction and chaos that's ensuing as a result of all this rapid movement and break things kind of attitude, we think that well, it's new, but it's not. Because what happens, and you can look back over 100 years and see this kind of thing, you can see it and chart it and track it down, and you know darn well that when there was a liberalization of social policies or liberalization of civil rights, in time or through time, it's always been that we get the civil rights, we start gaining a few extra rights, not extra, but gaining rights that we already had, that were entitled to us, but were not given to us explicitly. And we start getting those things. And then the conservatives over here, they go, no, that's too fast, that's too much. We're going to go after all the universities again and tear them apart and tear up the woke stuff. And well, back then it wasn't woke stuff, it was liberal stuff and things like that. But I mean, this stuff has occurred in the 30s. It occurred in the 30s. It occurred in the 50s and the Lavender Scare, but also when, and basically what that was a conservative reset. And they actually went after universities then too for talking about things like, socialism and eugenics, which obviously is definitely a wrong thing, like eugenics, but they went after all these things. And they go through it so fast and so furiously because they don't think they have the time to actually plan it out and do it. And it happens every time there is a conservative reset. And whenever people gain more that they should have already had, well, what happens is people who don't want you to have all those things, they rise up, start working towards dismantling it all, getting a reset or a restart. And it happens all the time in the 50s and then in the 70s. You know what turned it around in the 70s, though? They did the same thing in the 70s, early 70s, late 60s. Called out the National Guard to put down protests. And people were protesting over the war, but they were also acknowledging the civil rights changes that had occurred. And these people were in support of it who were protesting, and they didn't want the government to take them back away or anything like that. But they wanted the war to stop too, Vietnam War. And then that's how you ended up with 4 dead in Ohio. Yeah, National Guard. Somebody got a little trigger happy. Shot lots of shots. 4 were killed. I think there was 9 wounded, I believe, something like that, 9 wounded. We've seen this game played out before, every time. And then you get the conservative reset. They go in there and smash things and break it and act fast, and then people get all upset with them. That's what happened in the mid-70s. People started getting upset with them all again, and then the tide just goes like this. But here's the hope part. Every time there's a conservative reset, liberalism or liberal ways of thinking, moving rights and moving freedoms more positively, gets restored and then go a little beyond. And every time it goes a little beyond, the conservatives go, oh no, we're losing our country. We got to shut down NPR. And guess what? They wanted to shut down NPR in the 80s. Public broadcasting. You want to shut it down then because they thought it was teaching too many things that they didn't want people to teach. No, they thought it had a liberal slant. This is not new. What Trump is doing right now is not new. It's not new at all. And it's it seems like it is because it's so horrendous and so many things have been destroyed, agencies and rules. But every time the agencies or rules are destroyed, you know who benefits? It's not the people. It's the billionaire class. Those are the ones gaining. Every time one of those rules are rolled back, it allows a business to go do something that they would not have ordinarily done against their citizens of this country. Yeah. But this too shall pass. It's going to take us just a little while, and we'll have to come out of a deep hole, but we will recover through this. We will recover through this. Now let me go down here and see what Ray has been saying. I see some stuff down here. Oh, you say, oh, that stupid train is all, let me see. That stupid train has always been there since I was born. It was just going slower because I caught the end of Jim Crow. Yeah, I understand that. Then I went straight into protesting after Vietnam for the LGBT movement. Hey, Jordan, there's my daughter. What are you doing, Jordan? How are you? Glad you dropped in. So, yeah. Hey, we've got a couple birthdays coming up. What are you going to do for Kara's birthday and Ashlyn's birthday and Natasha's birthday? They're all in a row. All my kids. Jordan is the lone stranger out there. She's in December. But this year she turns old. Yeah, this year she told, hey, Jordan, you should be working, girlfriend. No, I know, you're probably on break. Maybe. But anyway, thank you for dropping in, everybody. I'm not going to spend much more time out here. Let me see, what was that? Now corporations are running the show and dictating everything. Got Kara some earrings. Yay! About to leave work. Are you all right, Jordan? Anything going on? So yeah. So I've been at it a little while now, and I don't want to go too much further into all of this. I've kind of been trying to find ways to instill a little bit of hope that we get through all of this. Let me see, what does this one say? Aren't you the founder of, no, who said that? Let me see. Aiden Kirshner, no, aren't you founder of TAVA? No. That would be Angela Brightfeather and Monica Helms. They founded TAVA, Transgender American Veteran Association, in 2003 jointly. And TVSG. DJ's mom has an appointment. Okay, good. Y'all take care and give everybody a hug for me down there, Jordan. Love you guys and all of that. Let me see what this one shows right here. I'll pull this one up here. Application doesn't work on the website. No, not the founder. The woman who made. Okay, y'all. Okay. I don't know what's going on with TAVA, with Transgender American Veterans Association, and I don't have anything to do with Transgender Veterans Support Group. That's TVSG. I'm not involved in any of those, because for me to be involved in them, I have to give up the activism part, the part that I like to do, which is get out here and just tell you when you're doing something stupid. And also to point out things when everybody else is doing stupid stuff too. And kind of get in the face of people on the, from the political side of things. I do that a lot. Oh, you're extra. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Who are we talking about here? Oh, yeah. How is it, Maya? So anyway, that's it. And, y'all can keep on talking if you want. I think those little chat things will continue on going. This application doesn't work on the website. I'm not sure which website you're going to. What I've started doing here in the past week, actually starting this week, I believe, is that I'm using the same program that I had the day before, so that you can come in and join on the same thing all the time. Okay, I'm trying to make it work that way. It's a little bit challenging sometimes. I have to recreate a new event on Restream, but I'm figuring out how to make it happen. Say, hey, Jordan, I love you too. Give Kara a hug and give all the grandkids down there a hug, and then whatever you need to do with DJ and Andy. So that's it, I think. Anybody else want anything to, let's see. Let me see what this one says here. I think Aiden is talking about TAVA. Yeah. Oh, do you yeah, okay. Let me put my website up here, Aiden. My website is not that. Let me just say this really quickly. I do have a business that's formed, and it is called Cassandra Williamson LLC. It is a for-profit business licensed in the state of Kentucky. I don't do nonprofit stuff because I don't want to have my hands tied behind my back when I start talking about things. I do talk a lot of politics, and I do go after people saying crazy crap. But let me put my website up here for you before I get out of here. Right there. It's www.cassandra, CASSANDRA-LLC.com. Okay. That's my website. There's a lot of stuff on there, and I do talk a lot about the research stuff. I do talk about adversarial collaboration, which I believe in strongly. I talk about all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, I can talk about it, because I'm not hamstrung by the requirements of a nonprofit. And sometimes that can be, let me see what that one says right there. I'm gonna go back to chat here again. Let's see. Aiden, I believe I saw your website before. If you need any graphic design work, yeah. Yeah, you can look at that thing and see that it was created by an amateur. That's me, using the Wix cut and paste stuff. So anyway, let me see, and my email address too. Let me put my email address up here. The website you got, right? Make sure put that back up. Here's the website right there. And then the email address, my email address is this one. Oh, I'm gonna put this at the bottom. Maybe that'll help. Now let's put this one at the top. Yeah, I'm playing around with all the little buttons. So now you got the website and the email address. And yeah, just reach out, talk, say hi, whatever. And I'm pretty sure that I've met a lot of people all across the country. I've met a lot of great people all around the world, country. And I'm very appreciative of that. And I do want to say thank you all for jumping in and having this conversation with me today. It's been 30 minutes. And let me see. I believe I saw your website before. Okay, what about this here? Oh, I think I saw that maybe, the LLC one. Yeah. And I don't blame you for not doing nonprofit. Yeah, I totally get it. Well, if you ever need help with your website or graphics or AI, I am a Chat GPT expert. I have Gemini Pro too, by the way, but I'd say Chat's better. Anyway, bye everybody. Have a great day. See you at 6 if you want to come back in at 6 Eastern time. I got to run. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.